Hello everybody, NGS here and welcome back to Symphogear, episode 11. Shit is gonna hit the fan, and everybody's telling me that I should be prepared to binge those last 3 episodes in a single sitting. So I'm kinda scared of what's gonna happen, but hopefully we're gonna see a good ending. Although there have been quite a few death flags before, and we can't forget about Hibiki's grave from the first episode. I still don't think they will kill Hibiki off, but why would that grave be there? Probably Hibiki, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it in the previous episode. Hibiki sometimes somehow having to go, off the grid completely to completely give herself to the Symphogear program and faking her own death. That would be one explanation, I guess, but I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. I wanted to say that this show isn't really known for killing all the characters, but yeah, Kanade. So yeah, various things can happen. But let's talk about what did happen in the previous episode. Quite a lot, actually. Quite a lot happened. Mainly, Finay, who we now know is Ryoko. We now have a full confirmation that this is the case. Finay was attacked by her weird organization that she was supposed to work for, but I think she kind of went rogue, not listening to the organization and pursuing her own goals of creating her own, like, Symphogear that she did manage to create using the Nehushtan armor and I think some other additives, because her armor is now called, I forgot what it's called, but I think it translated to Babylon. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. So now Finay is a wanted woman. Well, not wanted by. Although no, she is wanted by everybody because after everything was said and done, Genjiro and his team did knock at her door and busted in, and they were blown up. Not entirely, because Genjiro is a superhuman, of course, so he, of course, protected Chris. But now there are two parties after Finay's head, which is an interesting subplot. Very interesting. Of course, the other thing that happened is Chris, who decided to join us yet again in fighting against the noise. So she is slowly but surely warming up to our team, and not to Genjuro, but certainly warming up to Miku and Hibiki, and even Kanade. Kanade, sure, she was fairly apprehensive at first, but she sees the purely utilitarian benefit of there being 3 fighters, 3 warriors instead of 2, right? 3 is more than 2, so she can't argue with math. At least that's how I see it. And at the end, of course, our trio got a phone call from Miku that, hey, the school is under attack. And now shit is gonna hit the fan. I don't think Miku will die. I mean, she was shown in the very first episode, so she's safe unless they go into some alternate reality bullshit, but I don't think they would go that far, that complicated. Like, this show is deep as it is. It doesn't know alternate realities and alternate timelines and timey-wimey shenanigans and stuff like that. So I don't think they're gonna do that. So Miku is safe, but nobody else is, I don't think. Yeah, I think we should just watch this episode and see what's gonna happen, because there isn't all that much to discuss about the previous episode. There's gonna be a lot to discuss about episodes 11, 12, and 13, I have a feeling. And you guys told me that those three are interesting. So let's do that, shall we? Sound, subs, and we can start episode 11 of Symphogear with subs by D-Track in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the regular military is trying to protect the school. Kind of makes me think, why are they even trying if regular human weapons can't even scratch the noise? They should focus on, like, I don't know, distraction with drones and automatons and whatnot, not just throwing lead at them. And what a timing! Yeah, if that doesn't tell you run the fuck away, I don't know what does. Hmm. I have a feeling Miku is gonna be significant in this episode. I don't know how quite yet, but they've been building her up significantly for the past few episodes. Right? She joined the whole Symphogear program, the whole organization and whatnot. She's very prominent in the OP. I don't think she would be that prominent and given this much time just because she's the love interest of the main character. There has to be something more. But I'm not sure what. I'd like to say that maybe during this crisis at school, she will accidentally maybe reawaken some relic or some symphogear or something. I don't know. I have absolutely no clue. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm completely mistaken and Miku is just gonna remain a regular girl through the series and she's never gonna get her own symphogear and whatnot. Yeah, the noise. Uh, I wouldn't worry about the building. You know, it can be rebuilt. It's just bricks and mortar. Yeah, so you better fucking run. Okay, down into the secret base. I still have no clue what's the deal with this elevator shaft. I honestly thought that they set base in some prehistoric temple or something. But someone told me that it's just a regular elevator shaft. Oh, Finney! Hello. Oh, so it's not just an elevator shaft. It is the cutting gear. I did not see that coming. Damn, he's agile. Bulletproof boobs. Nice underboob, by the way. Very stylish. No, Miku is forever trying to play the hero. Makes sense. Kazanari, Tsubasa, okay. I still have the character list on the screen, by the way, for moments like this. Don't you dare trust people and believe in them. I had a tragic backstory of people betraying me, so that means there can be no good people in the world. Is that it? I have a feeling that might be it. She reacted way too emotionally. And Genjuro ex machina. Yes, because you are a precious friend. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, for all we know, Genjuro is a fucking deity. He's the only thing that Symphogear users fear. The mere shockwave of his punch can break Nekustan. Ah, why do they need anybody but Genjuro? For real? Uh, of course. It's his sheer manliness that gives him superpowers. Uh, but he still has a weak spot for Ryoko. He's not dead. He was just having a bottle of ketchup on him and it spilled. He looks plenty dead as is. Also, couldn't you have shot the other communicator as well? Okay, now what is the goal here? We know that it's some sort of a misled attempt at saving humanity and whatnot. Just in the nick of time. Who else but Ryoko? Yeah. The enemy on the inside is the worst case scenario. Yeah, he's fine. It was just his spleen. No biggie. Give him a movie to watch and he's gonna just regenerate. Everybody's either just escaped or dead. Yes. Yes, actually. Henshin? Super Saiyan? And lastly, Nefustan. Triple Henshin. Ah, of course. I have a feeling that you're onto something. I have a feeling that Ryoko is gonna rejoin us. I have absolutely no clue how it will happen, but I have a feeling that it will. She never existed. Huh? Okay. That's very interesting. Huh. Okay, so technically Ryoko and Finney are two separate people. Could it be that we somehow manage to seal Finney back up or eliminate her without much harm to Ryoko? Is Genjuro also a descendant of some mythological hero? Wouldn't surprise me. Earl Grey with lemon, by the way. Okay, but what does the cutting gear do? I still have no clue what it does. I know that the overall goal is to defeat the gods to free humanity from their shackles or something along those lines. But through what means exactly? Is Kadingir a huge fucking cannon that's just gonna shoot the skies? It's gonna blow up the heavens? Railgun to Valhalla? It is the ion cannon that can reach beyond the sky. It's gonna try to shoot the gods with it. The moon, of course. Of course. Uh, the Tower of Babylon, yeah. The god, okay. Has it? You know what, Pinay? I'm with you. I'm not with you. Dayside? Sure. Getting to rule the world? Eh. Yeah. I was down for some Deicide, but the whole, world conquest, could do without it. Three simultaneous henshins? I just noticed that when she sings her henshin songs, she says Ichival. Does each of them mention the name of her Symphogear when transforming? I didn't pay attention to others. Government agency. Now, yeah, the jig is up. Now there's more people who know about Hibiki. Funny you mentioned that. Interesting that the song they're using in the background is Chris's song. I don't know if it has any significance whatsoever, but an interesting tidbit. Helicopter, helicopter. Spin to win versus spin to win, and nobody wins. Okay. Chris has ground-to-air missiles. Should have probably gone for smaller projectiles. Chris is going to the moon. Is she gonna sacrifice herself to stop the blast from the Kadingir? Kadingir? Suicide song? Suicide song, yep. Hmm. Those are big guns. Those are even bigger. I mean, that's a single gun. Okay, we're doing the whole energy collision in the middle of space. We're going full trigger here. Yep, her symphogear is breaking, her body is breaking. Even if she survives, it won't be okay, yeah. I was about to say that even if she survives, it won't be easy to retrieve her from the low orbit, but it doesn't seem like that will be a, concern. At least partially. Is that Chris? Okay, so I guess Kadingir isn't that strong of a gun. I thought she's gonna be vaporized, but you're not gonna try to catch her? No? Just gonna okay. Sure. Oh, I now understand everybody who said that I might not be able to just watch a single episode. That didn't feel like 22 minutes. That did not feel like 22 minutes. Holy shit. What time is it? I could squeeze in one more. Though if episode 12 ends the same way, we're gonna have to watch 13. Curse you, Symphogear, and your cliffhangers. Hmm. If I do decide to watch the next episode, it's gonna be split into multiple episodes uh, still, because I need to make some space on my drive to fit everything. I have like 20 gigs left. After this video is done, I'm gonna have like 10, so. Oh man. Let's go through it again. There is a lot to go through after all. Yeah, this seems kinda odd that the military is still trying to fight the noise despite literally not being able to. They do provide some distraction, sure, but there are other ways of doing that. ways that wouldn't require the soldiers to essentially sacrifice their lives. So, Miku, of course, forever the hero. I need to make sure nobody's left behind. Yeah, that's gotta be a traumatic event. Yeah, all this time I was wondering what's the deal with this elevator shaft. Also, did nobody like ask Ryoko, hey, why do you need the elevator shaft to be the size of school and decorated and having all those mechanical components? Wouldn't just a hole do? You okay, you want it to look pretty. Sure, fine by me. We're gonna give you 17 more billion to fund your elevator shaft. I see no problem in that. Kinda odd, not gonna lie. Any symbols I would recognize? No, not really. Something that vaguely looks like hieroglyphs. I believe in them. And yeah, they're all out there. I believe in them. That was a very emotional reaction. Very abrupt and very emotional. And very, very not, what do you call it? Ah, I forgot the word. Very not appropriate to the thing that happened, right? That's what I wanted to say, not. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Too big of a reaction for what happened. That's what I wanted to say, essentially. Which makes me think maybe Finney does have some tragic past and whatnot. Or maybe it's Ryoko, and Ryoko is briefly shining through the covers. Also, another interesting thing. When Ryoko said in the last episode, no, in the previous to last episode, when she said that, is it me who changed or is it someone else who changed me? Was it Finney speaking or was it Ryoko speaking? If it was Finney, I don't think she would have this much like insight and this much care about changing, and I don't think she would change in the first place because she's like a 3,000-year-old immortal eternal priestess or whatnot, right? So it felt kind of out of place for Finney, but not out of place for Ryoko, which again brings me to my suspicion that Ryoko might still be saved, while Finney might be either sealed back again or destroyed, purged from Ryoko's body. Or Finney might be brought to our side, or Finney and Ryoko might be merged into a single consciousness, with Ryoko getting the upper hand, kinda sorta, and being able to having all the knowledge that Finney had and being able to do magic and whatnot, but being on the side of our organization. That also would be cool. And yeah, we have another badass. I really didn't know that. Shinji. Yeah, Shinji. I really wouldn't suspect Shinji to be this much of a badass. She only really acted as an agent for Tsubasa, but now he's doing backflips and shooting the communicator with immense precision and whatnot. And of course, Genjuro Ex Machina. For a moment, I honestly thought that what they're gonna do is they're just gonna solve it instantly in this single episode, right? The way they solved a lot of the drama between Hibiki and Miku where some drama arose and it was almost immediately resolved. I honestly thought that Genjiro is just gonna beat Finei up, they're gonna chain her up and whatnot, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the end of Finei's scheme. It would be pretty anticlimactic, not gonna lie, but also very on brand for the show. I wouldn't have minded at all. Really. I wouldn't have minded at all. But, of course, Finei has dirty tricks. Genjiro-kun! And he wavers, and he gets stabbed, pukes out all the tomato soup he ate for breakfast, his ketchup spills out. We all know that just, a pierced spleen is nothing for Genjiro. He's just gonna stand right up. He's just indestructible. Wouldn't surprise me if he also was a reincarnation of some mythological hero, as I mentioned. The way Finei is a priestess from 58 billion years ago or whatnot, Genjiro could very well also be one. Hibiki is coming, as is the entire team. Genjiro is already standing. He really is indestructible. What happened to Ryoko? Her... what was that? Body was consumed long ago. Her consciousness died 12 years ago. Did it, though? Or was it only sealed up? He brought about the paradigm shifts that ushered in a new age. Okay, let me see that bit again. There have been many visionaries and great heroes, yep. Who brought about the paradigm shifts that ushered in a new age, and you were one of them. Like the Symphogear system. No, Symphogear system is actually pretty shit, apparently, according to Finei. There's much stronger things, like unbroken relics, I'm assuming, like Kadingir. Why the textures here are suddenly really, really, really low res and blurred? Why? Is it an artistic choice or is it poorly textured CG? I'm not sure, but it looks like shit, honestly. It's like the first thing in this show that I will openly tell you looks like shit. Not a huge fan. And here raises the cutting gear. Let me take a good look at it. Is it CG? Could very well be, and that could very well explain the poor quality of textures. Not sure though. Also, that's a... First of all, very cool tie-in to the myth of the Tower of Babel, right? That was supposed to reach the heavens, reach God, and God was super angry at people trying to do that and mixed up their tongues so they can no longer build that tower. But apparently it's the moon god that did it. And just shooting the moon with a big-ass ion cannon is enough to make all people speak the same language again. And yeah, I was with her when it comes to D side. Absolutely. ruling the world. Sorry. One step too far. Triple henshin. Right. Let me hear their other henshins. No, that's Chris. Ame no Habakiri or whatever. Yeah, I can hear that. Does Hibiki mention Gangnir? Gangnir? Okay. Okay, so their songs actually contain the names of their symphogears. Nice detail. And now the jig is up. Now 3 more people know about Hibiki's persona. Could it be the reason why Hibiki could potentially decide to stage her own death? I'm alluding to episode 1 when we see her her grave, right? Her headstone. I'm not sure. I mean, we have, not counting this one, we have 2 more episodes, right? 12 and 13. Kadingir has been stalled. I honestly can't really see a situation where Hibiki would actually be in enough danger to die. Unless Finney manages to shoot Kadingir the second time, and now it's Hibiki who has to take the blow. Yeah, I can't really think of a scenario where Hibiki would actually die. But a lot of people knowing that Hibiki is a Symphogear could be potentially dangerous, so her stage... I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have absolutely no clue. Cool fights, cool rockets. But yeah, she should really be using smaller projectiles, something that isn't easy to hit with a whip, machine gun, sniper rifle, and anti-material rifle, something like that. Not huge ass intercontinental missiles. But of course, she needed that intercontinental missile to fly herself into the low orbit and sing her suicide song and counter the the Kadingir beam. Man, Dad, I've always loved you. That's why I want to carry on your dream. I want to bring peace to the world with my song. And she managed to do that. Well, she didn't manage to fully resist Kadingir, but then again, it's a huge ass cannon. But she did manage to soften the blow on the moon. And she even managed to survive. At least it looks that way. Is she alive? Wait, the music. Is this Chris's theme, but slowed down and in a different key? It is, isn't it? It is Chris's song. Because I recognize the Zanbu. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice touch. It's a very nice touch. I honestly expected right now that either Hibiki or Tsubasa will just launch their jets and go straight for Chris to catch her and cushion the blow, the fall, but apparently not. Hibiki's eyes go small. To be continued. Is she gonna go Sicko mode? We haven't seen Hibiki go Sicko mode in a while. And I have a feeling it might be coming. Maybe that's the danger to Hibiki. We don't quite know what's the deal with her Sika mode, right? Whenever she used it, she was alone without any oversight from Tsubasa or from Genjuro or from anybody. So it's safe to assume that nobody knows about it. Could it be dangerous? Could that be what kills Hibiki? I don't know. That's a very guttural scream. And yeah, ED. VED. The end. Oh man. Man, oh man, what an episode. On one hand, a lot happened, and I mean a lot. But on the other, there isn't all that much to discuss, like post-show, a post-episode, right? Everything that needed to be said, I think I said during the discussion and during the reaction. But, what should I talk about, really? Yeah, I'm still hopeful that we will get Ryoko back in one way or another. I'm not sure how they're gonna solve it, but I think they will. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain, but I have a suspicion that they will. Right? Genjuro saying that I can't just forget all those years we spent together and whatnot. I think that's a dead giveaway that Ryoko will somehow turn back to the good side. Or alternatively, it's a death flag for Ryoko when she does something that takes Finei with her. That's another possibility. But Genjuro mentioning what he did mention is certainly significant. I'm 100% certain of. Either we will get Ryoko back or Ryoko will sacrifice herself somehow. Next thing. Nehushtan. Another question arises. Can Nehushtan fire only once? Or can it fire again? We know that a single shot wasn't enough to break the moon, to pierce the moon. It only broke off a chunk of it. But can Kadingir shoot a second time? If it can, that's gonna be a problem because nobody else has access to like rocket powers. I think Tsubasa has limited flight. Hibiki has some limited like jump jets. So maybe someone would potentially be able to stop the blow. Not sure though, because Chris did it from like low orbit, and you can't really go there with like jump jets, right? You need something that only Chris had, which is rockets. If it cannot shoot again, what's the next step for Finay? That's also interesting. Her plan has been, for all we know, thwarted. What is she gonna do next? Will she need another powerful unbroken relic to recharge Kadingir? I thought for a moment that she might be willing to sacrifice Hibiki to fire Kadingir again, but Hibiki doesn't have an unbroken relic. She doesn't even have a broken relic. She has literally just a shard of it. Although she's slowly turning into an amalgamation of a relic and a human. Could Hibiki, by now, at this point, could Hibiki be a an unbroken relic? Hibiki herself. That's an interesting concept. That's an interesting concept. I wonder. I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. Or is Finney gonna try something completely different, but what? Just lashing out at Hibiki and Tsubasa? There would be no point to it. Hmm. Yeah, either the Kadingir can fire a second time without anybody's help, or Kadingir can fire a second time, but provided it's recharged by something, by another unbroken relic, for example. Or maybe Finney is gonna try to force Hibiki to awaken some other relic so that she can use it to fire again. Could it be that she takes Miku hostage? Wouldn't put it past her. Huh. Yeah, I've no clue. I have no clue. It's interesting whichever way it goes. It's gonna be interesting. That much I know. Also, Chris, I still have a feeling she's alive. I don't think she's dead quite yet. She has very good synchronization from what we know. She didn't need to be like forcefully synchronized with her Symphogear the way Kanade had to be. And seeing how Tsubasa survived her suicide song, chances are Chris also did. Now, what could have killed her is the fall, because nobody tried to help her. For some reason, everybody just stood there rooted in place. Hmm. That was a very good cliffhanger. I gotta say, it really hanged me over the cliff. I'm really curious what's gonna happen next. It's only been 52 minutes. I don't think I'm gonna get to the full hour because there isn't that much more left to say. Then again, one more thing, one more interesting detail. Genjuro apparently knew what Ryoko and Finney were trying to do. Didn't they prepare for that eventuality? Didn't they prepare any contingency plan? You know, plant some explosives around the shaft of the elevator just as a safeguard, so that if Finney tries to activate it, you press a button and it all blows up. Nobody thought of that. And of course, we have to go back to the very construction of the Kadingir. How did they justify this much funding for just a just an elevator shaft? Officially, just an elevator shaft. A bit of a whatchamacallit. Uh, I forgot the word again. A bit of an inconsistency, at least for now. Maybe it's gonna be explained somehow. I don't know, but right now it feels like a plot hole. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Like a plot hole that nobody questioned, spending this much money and effort on just a bog standard elevator shaft. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder why didn't they try to prepare some sort of a plan in case Finney comes back, and tries to blow up the fucking moon. Hmm. Another interesting thing. From what we heard a couple of episodes back, and at least it is my understanding of it, Finney believes that humans are essentially enslaved by the gods, and the way of enslaving humans is through the noise, who are the servants of the gods, who are making sure that humans don't, develop fully to be able to rival the gods. Something along those lines, right? Humans are just a workforce for the gods, essentially created to build their temples and pray to them and whatnot. Assuming Finney ultimately does not succeed blowing up the moon, what's gonna happen with the whole evil deities plot? Are we gonna explore it in future seasons, perhaps? where it's Hibiki, Tsubasa, and Chris that have to go against the gods. Are we going? Are we going on a full like cosmic scale here? Battles on a cosmic scale. Are we going full Gurren Lagann? That would be kind of cool. Not gonna lie, that'd be kind of cool. If like the final battle of the final season was a battle with a fucking god in space, in the center of the galaxy and whatnot. That'd be cool, purely for the cool factor. I have no clue how they would justify it, how they would prepare to journey to the center of the galaxy, but you can't deny the coolness factor of it. Yeah, interesting what's gonna happen to the whole gods and human servants plot point, and what's gonna happen with the noise. Because ultimately, the plot of this first season was all about. Ultimately, like we know now from hindsight, that the plot was about Finney and her plan to fire the Kazanari to destroy the moon and lift some curse from humanity. But what about the noise? We're not getting any closer to solving the issue of the noise. Are they just gonna remain a persistent threat, force of nature? Or are future seasons gonna explore potentially getting rid of some source of the noise, should source like that exist? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to future episodes. I think I'm gonna watch episode 12 right now. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'm gonna grab myself another coffee and I think I can soldier through it. Uh, but I'm certainly looking forward to future seasons because I see a lot of potential. No wonder that despite them thinking they have only a single season, they were greenlit to create season 2 and 3 and 4 and like what, 5? And like 3 movies, 3 OVAs, concerts and whatnot. No wonder. It's some like, it's some good shit. I know why people are so obsessed with Symphogear. Now I fully realize that. It really is an amazing show. Truly, truly spectacular. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. So, you guys, you tell me, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction? What did you think of my theories? Tell me that in the comments. Just please, no spoilers, right? I want to watch it blind. You probably also want me to watch it blind, so don't do me a disservice. Don't do yourself a disservice. Don't spoil anything, right? Right, that's cool. If you do want to spoil some things and talk with fellow gearheads that already seen the show like 15 times and you want to talk with them, there's a link to my Discord server in the description where you can join and you can go to the Symphogear channel and there are spoiler tags and you can talk at will. And I won't be opening the spoiler tags, so I'm safe from any and all spoilers. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but if you did, tell me why so I can improve my content. Subscribe to be notified of future releases, not only Symphogear but also Arifureta Season 2, that's going to be releasing tomorrow. Sabiku Ibisco, that's going to be releasing the day after. Those Frontline and Tokyo 20 for a Coup, that's my current lineup. If you're interested in any of those shows, give me a sub and you'll be notified when any of them releases, and also they're gonna be in the cards linked there so you can go to the playlist and watch it. If you really like what I'm doing, you can support me on Patreon, link in the description. For $10 a month, you get early access to Symphogear episodes up to 1 week early. Episode as you're watching episode 11, episode 12, maybe even episode 13 are already available on my Patreon, so if you want to watch them right now, subscribe and you will get instant access to that. And for just $1, you get an orange role on my Discord server and you get access to a server, to a Patreon only channel where you can talk about whatever, really. It's a channel for patrons, so you guys decide how you want to utilize it. Share this video, of course, with other people you know that would enjoy seeing another reaction to Symphogear, because the more you guys spread the word about my channel, about my videos, the more YouTube itself promotes them, and the happier I am, because it reaches more people, and more people watch it, and it's just a dream come true that people are interested in my content and enjoy it. So, I shilled what needed to be shilled. That's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers! And this is yet another benefit you get as a Patreon supporter. You get to be in the credits of my videos, no matter the tier.